Mason Cable News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cayla Cade.
And I'm Priscilla Yun. Interested in joining the Housing and Residence team next year? Housing and Residence Life will be hosting an info session and collecting applications for next year's live-in staff. Open positions include community assistants, living learning assistants, and resident assistants. This event will be held Monday, November 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. at Merton Hall.
This weekend is Family Weekend at George Mason. Events will be held throughout the weekend for friends and families to come together to connect, have fun, celebrate, and make new memories. Some of the events being held are the 5K run and walk, student performances, faculty spotlights, and a men's basketball game. Passes for each family member will come at a cost of $5 each.
Do you want to improve your leadership skills? The LEAD office will be offering the Active Leaders Program. This is a 10-week seminar designed to provide a more advanced leadership opportunity for Mason students. There are no prerequisites, and you do not need to hold an active leadership position to participate in the program. For more information, visit lead.gmu.edu. Let's take a quick break and find out what the weather is looking like this week from our in-house weatherman, Jack Dunne.
Thanks, guys. The rain this afternoon and evening will bring in another cold front, which will lead to unseasonably cold temperatures on Friday and Saturday, as the highs are only expected to be in the mid-40s. But we do warm up a little bit on Sunday and Monday with highs back into the 50s. But as for Tuesday, a slight chance of cold rain may even mix in with a couple flurries, but probably nothing that will stick. But behind this cold rain will bring in a major Arctic blast, as the high temperatures are only expected to be in the mid-30s by midweek. In fact, these high temperatures will be similar to the average lows for this time of the year. In fact, a few records may even be broken during this Arctic blast. Back to you guys in the studio.
Tuesday was Election Day in Virginia, and Mason students showed up to exercise their right to vote. From 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., students and local residents flowed in and out of Merton Hall. Voters were rewarded for completing their civic duty with the annual party at the polls, which took place right outside of Merton Hall, hosted by several student groups such as Student Media, Student Government, Mason Votes, and more. The party offered voters free food, drinks, t-shirts, music, and more. If you missed the party this year, make sure to catch it when you vote in the coming 2020 election.
Speaking of the Virginia election, this was one for the history books. All 100 Virginia House seats and all 40 Virginia State Senate seats were up for election. Heading into the election, both the House and the Senate were controlled by the Republican Party. After the polls closed, the results came in that the Democratic Party gained control over both the House and the Senate. Now with control of the House, Senate, and the governorship, the party is at full power for the first time since 1993. Governor Ralph Northam declared to supporters in Richmond that, quote, "I'm here to officially declare today, November 5th, 2019, that Virginia is officially blue," end quote. With the election over, the Democratic Party now have a clear path to pass new policies for the state of Virginia.
On Monday, November 4th, presidential candidate Andrew Yang visited campus to hold a rally. The Center for the Arts filled to near capacity with a crowd of more than 1,800, mostly young people in attendance. The 44-year-old candidate has a message that resonates with young people in particular. One of his signature policies is a call for freedom dividend. This is universal income that would offer $1,000 per month for a year to help Americans endure challenges from job losses that result from increased automation. After hearing his speech, many students walked away solidly in the camp of the Yang Gang. We'll be back right after a quick break with the sports update from our sports anchor, Vince Garbutt. You're watching Mason Cable News.
What's going on, Mason Nation? It's Vince Garbutt coming at you guys with another weekly sports update. This week, the men's soccer team played their last game of the season. Last Saturday, Mason faced off against Virginia Commonwealth University. The game ended with Mason falling to VCU 1-0. Mason played a very defensive first half, however, with each team only recording one shot in the first 45 minutes of play. With the game scoreless late in regulation, Rams junior forward Bizka Biombo netted his 5th goal of the season in the 83rd minute to put VCU out in front. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from the game.
Welcome everybody to George Mason Stadium as the George Mason Patriots get set to take on the VCU Rams here in Fairfax, Virginia. Alongside me, Bicker Michael, is John Linney.
If they were able to if they turned it over.
Still in possession. Did well to ride the pressure. Now Graham is in goal. Sends a cross and Biombo turns. Takes a shot and he scores! VCU take the lead with 7 minutes left in the second half. Bizka Biombo.
Oh, look at the flips. Let's look at the replay here. Talk about a clutch goal.
The final scoreline being VCU 1 and Mason 0 here in Fairfax, Virginia.
It's finally basketball season, ladies and gentlemen. Our women's basketball team faced off against the College of Charleston yesterday. And they started the season on a high note with a 72-61 victory over the Cougars. The men's basketball team also had a great first start with their first 2 games thus far. They faced off against Navy on Tuesday and left the court with an overtime victory, with the score being 68-55. And show your Patriot pride tomorrow as men's basketball faces off against the Longwood Lancers tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Eagle Bank Arena. Unfortunately, that's all the time for me this week, Mason Nation. Come back next week to see more weekly sports updates with me, Vince Garbutt. We'll be back with the roundtable discussion. You're watching Mason Cable News.
So, Priscilla, why don't you tell me more about the election?
Yeah, okay, so the election. I heard there was a great turnout, a lot of students came, and I think it's really important for young people like ourselves to come out and vote because eventually our votes are going to be the changes that happen in and out of the office. What about you?
I agree. However, I did not decide to vote this year because I'm not from Virginia. I'm from Maryland. Did you vote today? The other day.
I sent an absentee ballot, yeah. But Virginia is blue now, so we'll see how that works out for us.
And what is your opinion on it being blue instead of red?
Blue, hopefully Governor Ralph Northam makes decisions that will benefit our society as a whole and leading up to the bigger elections in 2020.
I agree.
Well, Patriots, thank you for tuning in this evening. You can keep up to date with news on and off campus if you follow us on Instagram at MCN on TV, on Twitter and Facebook at Mason Cable Network, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mason Cable Network. My name is Priscilla Yun.
And I am Cayla Cade. Thanks for tuning in, Patriots. We'll see you back here next week on Mason Cable News.